Now, excitement is reaching fever pitch for fans as the World Cup quarterfinals are coming up on Friday. Ghana and Uruguay play later tonight, but the early game has the potential to be the most entertaining so far, with Brazil and the Netherlands going head-to-head. Here's Yunanil from South Africa.
After a two-day break, World Cup addicts can start blowing their vuvuzelas again as it's quarter-final time in South Africa. A true battle royale kicks off proceedings on Friday, with old foes Brazil and the Netherlands getting reacquainted in Port Elizabeth. One for the purists this: Brazil will enter the tie as slight favourites. So far this tournament, Coach Dunga has overseen a lively attacking unit, perfectly complemented by a no-nonsense defence, something perhaps that had been lacking in previous years. Finding the net, on the other hand, has never really been a problem for the Seleção. Luis Fabiano, the latest striker to prove his worth in the famous yellow jersey, scoring twice and creating even more in the earlier rounds.
It's quite simple. Both teams want to play an attacking game. They know how to dribble, they take risks, they are creative, and they always try to score. They want to win. So when two teams of this nature face each other, we can always expect a great game of football.
The Dutch have played a similar brand of football to Brazil in their build-up. The Oranje also making defence more of a priority than in previous tournaments. Conceding just 2 goals in 4 games here is testament to that ethos. Seeing that, the likes of Ian Robben, Wesley Sneijder and Robin van Persie will want to prove the country's attacking instincts are still very much alive.
I know the samba football of Brazil, but sport changes and football changes also. And I think it has to do with the changing, and that everybody is getting fitter, better organized. So when you play like former times, I think it's more difficult to win the World Cup.
The hopes of 1 billion people lie with Ghana in the second matchup on the day. The Black Stars are the sole remaining African team left in the competition, with the history books also looking to be rewritten as they take on Uruguay. A win would propel Ghana into the World Cup semi-finals, a place no African team has ever been. And Milovan Rajevic's side are well equipped to do just that. Ghana have been a joy to watch at the finals, employing a high-tempo style which has paid off hugely. They'll look to the goal scorers in the round of 16 win over the United States, Asamoah Gyan and Kevin Prince Boateng, for more of the same.
We have a big task ahead of us because all the African continents are behind us, and the whole of Ghana, so as I said earlier, we know how to soak the pressure. I believe in my friends, the Black Stars. I know what they can do, and we know what to do before the game, and everybody witnesses that.
Hoping to ruin that party at Johannesburg Soccer City are Uruguay. The twice world champions are one of 4 South American teams in each of the quarterfinals, and it must be said they're fully deserving of their spot. Their strike force of Luis Suarez and Diego Forlan have lived up to pre-tournament billing, accounting for 5 of Uruguay's half a dozen goals to date. It's been 4 decades since the Sky Blues last reached a World Cup semi-final, a long wait given their historical pedigree. Desire should not be found wanting with either side. Ewan O'Neill, RT, Cape Town.
On Saturday, it'll be time for another highly anticipated contest, and it's Europe against South America again, represented by Germany and Argentina. Despite their relative youth and injuries to several key players, Germany have been one of the most impressive teams in South Africa. Joachim Löw has almost a full squad to choose from, except for striker Kaka, who is likely to miss the tie due to a right thigh injury. The two met at the same stage 4 years ago, Germany emerging victorious, but only after a penalty shootout. And Germany captain Philipp Lahm is pretty convinced the outcome will be the same this time around.
We must concentrate on football. We've got to focus on the 90 minutes lying ahead. We've got to play our game, that's the long and short of it. And while we know that the South Americans are a temperamental bunch, we just have to be cool, and it remains to be seen how they deal with another defeat on Saturday.
Meanwhile, Argentina will hope to reach World Cup semi-finals for the first time since 1990. Diego Maradona's charges have been impressive so far in South Africa. They are the top-scoring team at the tournament with 10 goals to their name. Lionel Messi will look to rely on their attacking skills on Saturday as well, and the Argentines are staying cool ahead of the clash.
I think we need to be calm because we already know it's going to be a tough match. We also need to be prepared to play even more than 90 minutes. We shouldn't allow the Germans to dictate the game. To do that, our team will need to have more of the ball.
Meanwhile, the Mexican Football Federation said goodbye to yet another manager. Javier Aguirre was the team's 4th coach in 4 years and 5th since Ricardo Lavolpe was released after the 2006 World Cup. Remember, Mexico were knocked out in the second round of the World Cup for the 5th time in a row in South Africa.
To Mexicans, I want to insist that we gave everything we had on the field. Those 45 minutes against Argentina, those circumstances that led us to not functioning so much as a team. Even though it happens in football, it really damaged our spirit. We tried to come back in the second half, but it was out of reach already. It was 45 minutes that made the difference between making history and just being another team eliminated in the World Cup. It's sad, but it's reality.
In the meantime, South Korean national football team coach has decided to step down. Ha Jung-moo made the announcement at a press conference in Seoul on Friday. He led South Korea to this year's World Cup in South Africa. The team finished 2nd in its group and advanced to the round of 16 before being knocked out by Uruguay 2-1.